Buckle up for another episode of Ghostfacers, a supernatural rewatch. My name is Richard, and sitting shotgun, as always, is my brother in podcasting, Reed.
Hey. Oh, it's not so fun when someone throws something in there that messes with your rhythm, is it? Is it?
In this episode, we get some information.
In this episode, we try our best, okay?
And then someone tries just a little bit harder. Let's get into it.
Ghostfacers! We face a ghost, when others will not. We're Ghostfacers! Stay in the kitchen when the kitchen gets hot. Ghostfacers! We face a nightmare, we face a dread. Ghostfacers! We face a faceless, we face a dead.
Welcome to Ghostfacers. Today we're discussing episode number 18, Something Wicked.
Ooh, something wicked.
Yeah, ooh. Give me some Indina Menzel.
Call me something wicked, because this is the way I come. God damn it.
Already I got a note.
Okay, for me?
No.
Is it about making jokes?
No.
Okay.
An alternative title for this episode was Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Wait.
It's something this way wicked. It's something wicked this way comes. I just wanted to.
Oh,
emphasize
okay.
that.
Yeah.
It was shortened later to Something Wicked. The title is based on the Shakespeare's play Macbeth, with the line "Toil and trouble, fire burns and cauldrons bubble by the pricking of my thumb. Something wicked this way comes."
Yeah. That's the witches.
Yeah.
In Macbeth.
I figured that's a very you note.
Yeah.
Figured you'd know.
I like that.
Yeah, I thought you'd like
appreciate
it.
that.
Yeah. This episode aired.
It's funny that they shortened. I just want to say it is funny they shortened the title because later seasons they're like, make the title like 17 words.
Oh, I know. Yeah, they really didn't care.
At a certain point, maybe they just ran out of 2-word titles, but they were just like, I don't know, call it like a full sentence.
Yeah. Much like emo band names in like the early 2000s.
This season has so many like 1-word titles that it's so funny to get to later seasons, and it's like,
Dearest,
it's like, for you, my brother, whom I regret.
Yes.
Or like they just all the episodes have been.
It did not matter.
Yeah.
So this episode aired April 6th, 2006. We're back on track, baby.
Oh yeah.
I think now we're like.
That's only 1 week.
It's only 1 week. Yeah.
We're back,
we're
baby.
Back. There it is. Written by Daniel Knauf. Knauf.
Knopf.
Okay, sure. Yeah, whatever. I know.
Or Nauf or something.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Directed by Whitney.
Sorry, you looked at something that started with a KN and you went for like.
Yeah, all right.
Wow.
Look, it's been a long day.
How much knowledge you must possess.
I'll fucking get you with a knife, I swear to God. This episode was directed by Whitney Ransack, viewed by an estimated 3.67 million viewers.
Ooh.
A previous episode was 7.6. This is 3.67.
I don't think they're going to make it.
The numbers are going down. Signs point to no. International titles.
Okay. So, it's Something Wicked, but shortened from Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Yeah.
International titles.
Yeah.
I wonder if Shakespeare hits in other countries or if we're just fully departing.
You know we're fully departing. The Italian and Polish titles are Something Wicked.
Okay.
The Brazilian, Something Evil.
Sure.
A little bit more liberal.
Yeah, something evil this way arrives.
Yeah. The Hungarian title.
Oh, God. What is it?
The Ancient Evil.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's good, but like...
I don't know if it's necessarily
I don't think
true.
it's fully true.
Yeah, no.
It's a weird use of the word ancient, I'd say, but it's a cool title.
The Finnish.
Okay.
Manifestation of Evil.
Okay.
I mean, that's about any episode, though, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, weirdly vague
Yeah.
for using very precise language.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The German.
Okay.
A Witch Returns.
Yeah, there we go. That is what I expect of you, Germany.
Yeah. But just wait. There's another level you can go.
Okay.
The French.
Oh, God.
the Shrika.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
This is what this is, right?
As you know, it is not scary if it's not telekinetic.
Telekinesis. We could just save what
So
it is.
what is the point of trying to hide behind words?
Yeah. It is clearly it is a Shritka. I was really losing it there.
Yeah.
I was trying to pull it back and I was having a hard time. So yeah, those are the international titles.
Fair enough.
TV Guide describes this episode as Sam and Dean hunt a striga, a type of witch that thrives on the life force of children, leaving its young victims prematurely aged and weak. However, it is only vulnerable while feeding. Specific. That's the just TV Guide.
That's the synopsis.
That's the synopsis.
I like that the synopsis is like people should know this.
Yeah, this is actually
Is there
more.
a Striga in your hometown?
Yeah.
Even if they don't see the episode, we need to arm people to defend themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You don't even need to watch this episode. You just need to know how to defend yourself.
I think every TV Guide description should just say like ghost, and then it should just say like rock salt. It's just like what do you do to like salt and burn the bones? It should just like
NYPD Blue. Humans can be killed.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Thanks, NYPD Blue.
90 Day Fiance. Don't date international.
Top Chef, cook chicken all the way through.
Yeah, I like that. That's good. Some featured music for this episode. We got Rock Bottom by UFO.
God damn it.
Road to Nowhere by Ozzy Osbourne. Whoa.
Oh, not Sam Roberts?
Yeah. No.
Oh, that's Bridge to Nowhere.
Yeah,
Sorry,
no.
By the bridge to nowhere, we get there fast. Put it in the past.
But in the past. Only Canadians are going to get
Literally a song I haven't thought about until just now.
that. The kids don't know how to dance to rock and roll. So
No, it's true.
So Electric by Boulevard.
Okay.
And Another Day of Regret by Reed? By Molly.
That's my spoken word.
Yeah. It's, all you say is that?
Yeah, like any spoken word of mine is that. Yeah.
All right. Well, before we get into our thoughts on today's episode, let's open up Dad's journal and learn some of the real world lore about today's monster.
Yeah, let's see what the lore says about the Striga. So the Striga is an Albanian folkloric legend. Mm-hmm. The word itself derives from Latin and means evil spirit or witch. So not a ton to glean there. It's a form of witch that, as mentioned, as TV Guide has already warned us, feeds on children in the night. It sucks out their life essence. It's physically described as being like an old or middle-aged a woman, always a woman, with pale eyes like blue or green or gray. In Albanian folklore, because, you know, women through history have famously been respected.
Oh, God, I can't.
In Albanian folklore, witches are not born but created. Any woman might become a woman, or any woman might become a witch by being childless and envious and rejecting God.
Oh, no.
Put that in your TV Guide description.
Jesus. That's going to be my new catchphrase.
Oh,
Put
God.
that in your TV Guide description.
Oh, that, okay. I thought you meant the stuff about
no.
being childless.
Oh, no.
Okay, so sometimes a striga will take the form of a flying insect, like a moth or a fly or a bee.
Yeah.
So by slowly draining their victim's life force, the victims become sickly, gaunt, weak, they kind of age a bit. They ultimately would die. Apparently, a striga can counter this effect, could give you your life force back, but it's only by returning the life force by way of spitting in the victim's mouth. So you got to really want your life back.
Wow. Someone tell Rachel Ray.
Wait, does she spit in someone's mouth?
She likes to get spit in her
How do we
mouth.
know this about her?
I don't know. This is the thing.
Is there like a Rachel Ray sex Ray?
What? Did you have a stroke?
Yeah. So this is another fun one where there are actual like documented methods of repelling or defeating a striga.
Okay.
Nothing that I saw said you had to get them when they were feeding. I think that might be specific to the show.
Okay.
But
It's specific to TV Guide. They actually don't mention it in the show.
Yeah. The writers at TV Guide have unique experience with Striga. It's their area of expertise.
Yeah.
Next to TV, it's Striga.
Yeah. TV and Striga Guide. So that was the original name, but they shortened
The
it.
Striviv Guide. So you can put salt in your fingers and you touch your eyes, your heart, your stomach, and you say a prayer like 3 to 6 times and then throw the salt in the fire.
Okay.
Which seems like a lot.
Yeah.
This is said to avoid the influence of a Striga's evil eye, which could like coerce you to do bad deeds or whatever. Some regions, they thought garlic was enough. In some, if a house was being built, they would put a puppet in the house to absorb the evil.
Oh my.
And there's nothing creepier to me than a puppet sitting in an unfinished house.
Yeah, let's make a puppet have a soul inside of it instead.
Yeah, let's let all the evil go into this puppet.
Yeah, that'll be less scary.
So there are some practices of speaking a prayer when meeting young children to prove you weren't a Striga. Like you would say it to prove you were benevolent. On Easter, you could hang a cross of pig bones on the church door, and it would trap a Striga inside, and they couldn't leave without being destroyed.
Wow.
It was said a Striga
Tie
would...
a rock to its leg and throw it into the water.
Yeah.
If it sinks, it's a Striga.
What else weighs more than a duck?
Yeah.
Churches! Very small rocks! It was said that Striga, after finishing feeding from a particular victim, they would go into the woods and regurgitate blood.
Yeah.
And if you soaked a silver coin in that blood and wrapped it in cloth, it would make an amulet that would make you permanently like resistant to a Striga. Catholic legend just says holy water is good enough, and in certain verses of the Quran, it says that you could speak some like Quran verses and spit on them, and that would destroy them.
God, someone was really into spitting.
Weirdly, a lot of lore about Striga.
Well,
in a lot of cultures.
I've got a note on your note. I know.
Oh.
Striga, the monster in this episode, is said to be originated from Albania, which is incorrect. In fact, it actually comes from Slavic mythology, especially Polish folklore, and originally was called a Struziga.
Well, I mean, there, and that makes sense. I mean, even the word itself goes back to Latin, so it clearly came from somewhere. But yeah, nice.
No, baby.
Oh, it's kind of a hat in a hat. We should probably just.
I got another note. The creature in this episode, Striga, is the folklore character that the Striga in The Witcher 2019 is also based on.
Oh, sure, yeah, that makes sense.
Look at that. We're streaming Strigas.
Oh my god, yeah.
Do you want to get into the episode?
Not really, but sure.
No, I'm good. Let's go. Let's flip a coin.
I just said no, and we just stopped.
Let's flip a coin.
It's my preferred way of making decisions.
Yeah, it's weird that you do that in life in general.
Yep.
Does Daddy love you tonight?
Yeah. Do I make a left turn at this red light?
Oh no. But oh my god, there is no right turn.
No.
I go straight across.
Oh, 22 years ago.
Every time.
This is Dad's book.
Oh yeah, Dad's thick book.
Come on.
What?
Come on.
So many pages.
Yeah. You'll learn a lot.
Oh no.
I don't like that.
No, you said it. So, Fitchburg.
Is that a fake town? Is that a real town? It feels like a fake name.
We'll get into it. But for now, we open in Fitchburg, Wisconsin.
This kid placing her trust in God like an idiot. She's
little does she know.
She's saying her prayers, keep me safe till morning light. Amen. And the dad's watching her to make sure she doesn't, I don't know, like cheat or something.
Yeah, say her prayers wrong.
Yeah. Religion's fun.
Yeah. She asks about her mother spending the night at the hospital with her sister, and then says good night.
Yeah, which is sad. You know,
it's a great way to start this episode.
You know, sick child and having to explain to the other child what's happening.
Yeah.
That's rough.
As a man with a daughter, I'm sure that you love that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I only have the one, so
thank God. Well, now
if one gets sick, it's just the one.
Yeah,
that makes it better.
Yeah,
I don't know why I said that.
I'll keep digging.
I'm just gonna go back to the episode. So, girl's asleep. It's windy outside. You see trees moving, but you hear this tapping. It could very well be the trees, or it could be
a musical ghost.
Fun fact, the Striga in this episode is Fred Astaire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's souling in the rain.
That's Gene Kelly.
Ugh,
You
whatever.
idiot.
Oh, my God. What am I ever going to do? How can I survive? Did you ever get like scared in your room at night? Like, were you a nightlight
constantly,
kid?
but not by this sort of
Oh,
stuff.
were you a nightlight kid?
No.
No.
There were nightlights in the hall just so you didn't trip and stuff, but it was never like a comfort nightlight. It was more like a practicality, like don't die in the night.
Did you ever do the thing where you like throw the blanket over your head and you're just like, I'm just going to stay down here until the thing goes away?
No.
Well, we brave.
I mean, not for things like ghosts or witches. I did it for like the inevitable heat death of the universe.
Okay. Neurotic child.
Very creepy witch hand, the like skinny bony fingers. This witch opens her mouth and it's just like a glowing light inside and you hear a scream. Very creepy. Some great shots in there leading up to seeing the actual Striga of like just the shadow of the hand, which almost looks like twigs and branches. Like some great way to like morph the night into something scary.
Totally. So now we're in the Impala the next day. I think it's the next day. They don't specifically say. So they're on the highway.
I mean, come on, I thought you were going to do some fucking research for this.
I don't do...
Spend all your time trying to debunk me. And now we don't even know what day it is.
Sam and Dean are following coordinates sent to them by John, leading to Fitchburg.
And Sam's saying, like, I can't find anything, like, in newspapers or that. Like, these coordinates are going somewhere and there's nothing there. Dean's like, I trust Dad. If he says that we go to Fitchburg to kill something, I'm gonna goddamn kill something in Fitchburg.
Yeah, exactly. Anything I find, something has to die in Fitchburg.
Something to release me from Fitchburg.
Something that just releases me in general.
Ooh. Oh God, Dean.
Murder does it. So there, look, two Fitchburgs. One's got an E, one's got a U.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, when they're entering the town, there's two signs. One says it with an E, and one says it with a U. I don't know how anybody missed that.
That's so funny because the signs are right, one in front of the other. That's so funny. I really like that.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite ones. So now they're arriving in town and stopping for coffee. Even though Fitchburg, Wisconsin, where this episode is set, is a real place, Fort Douglas, Wisconsin, where the flashbacks are going to be set, does not actually exist. However, both Fort McCoy and Camp Douglas are located very close to each other and are often mistaken for each other by civilians and non-locals.
All right.
So
they're starting to get coffee, and Sam says, "What's wrong with this picture?" And there's like no kids. There's
like
one
school
kid
just got out
playing, and Dean's like, "Yeah, school just got out." It's odd.
Sam's really got to stop like hanging out places and staring at things because people are going to start getting the wrong opinion.
Yeah, it was him spying on Meg a couple of episodes
now he's looking
ago.
at a school ground.
So Dean goes up to this parent and says, like, what's happening here? Like, just noticing. And the mother says, like, a lot of kids are getting sick. In the last couple of months, they think it's catching. They don't know what it is.
Yeah.
No one's been able to figure it out. It's a very also with the way they sort of desaturate the color in this episode, it's just a very, very sad town, because also what is we're living in a pandemic right now, but I think we can all admit that we would maybe find it a more terrifying pandemic if it was specifically children.
I mean, yeah, absolutely.
But
also
not that it's not bad always, but if it was something that was like only getting kids, we would that would be a real freak out moment. But
also like just slipped past, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even young at heart. There's not even like a technicality where I could get it. Yeah.
So the guys head to the hospital because all these kids are getting sick. They're going to be at the hospital.
They suit up, but these are not good suits.
No.
Sam looks like he's got to try and sell a Tercel by the end of the day.
Yeah. So that's really funny. As they walk in, Sam confronts Dean about the ID that Dean gave him, which reads Bikini Inspector. This first season Dean, oh God, douchebag Dean.
Love that. So they walk past this hall. We see this very old woman. She sort of creepy turns her head and looks at Dean. There's a cross upside down in her room. Dean's like, if there is something here, we might want to start in this room.
Yeah. Seems like the old lady might be scared. And she's also got an upside down cross on the wall.
Well, yeah, I said that.
Oh, did you? I stopped
If
listening.
you paid any attention to me at all, if you weren't so busy trying to well, fine, it's nothing about Albania.
Well, it really hit you. I didn't realize. I fucking struck a nerve.
How about you just do the next episode?
Oh, is that a possibility?
No. So they're talking to this doctor.
Dr. Heidecker. The doctor's name Heidecker could be a reference to the short story Dr. Heidegger's Experiment, where Heidegger tries to find the fountain of youth, much like Dr. Heidecker has been alive since 1893, which we find out later.
Yeah, without giving up the ghost too much. But yeah, so this doctor is he's talking about like their bodies are wearing out, their immune systems are just like compromised. They're saying like, have you ever seen this before? And they said like, never this severe, not like this. And he said,
not like this.
It also works its way through families. Like it starts with one sibling, and then the next one is like, it's wild. Sam and Dean ask if they can interview kids, and none of the kids are conscious.
Yeah,
which is pretty fucked up.
Also this actor, the Dr. Heidecker guy, is played by Victor Rogers. The season 8 episode Freaks and Geeks. He's also plays this guy Victor Rogers in that.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Comes back. There's a few actors here that come back for multiple roles.
That is true. So the Sam and Dean go to talk to the dad that we saw at the beginning.
Yeah,
and
Bethany's father.
And he's even more distraught because now both of his kids are in the hospital. You think they got pneumonia? Were they out in the cold? This is Dean. Maybe the smoothest they ever get.
Yeah.
Trying to ask about cold spots, like figure out about like ghosts and stuff like that.
He's like, is there cold spots on her body? Does her body smell like sulfur? I don't know.
No, oh, Jesus. The dad does say that like he deliberately closed her window and that it was open. So, Sam says it could just be pneumonia. And Dean says, or something to open the window. Because Dean is looking for there to be a thing in this town because the journal sent them there.
Yeah. But also, I think Dean also has in the not worst way possible, has a soft spot for kids.
Yeah.
I find that's one of those things that he gets really defensive about.
Totally.
So they're going to Bethany's, they
house. Go to the house because they're like, well,
Dad's not there.
Dad's pretty messed up. He's going to stay in the hospital. They sort of exploit his grief to go and like ransack the house. Well, not ransack it, but to investigate.
Yeah. So once in the house, they begin to look around Bethany's room for
EMF
clues.
And is Sam using a black light? Like, what is he trying to find?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Fingerprints or something?
Yeah, maybe. Sam looks around the window and finds something on the windowsill.
Yeah. He says, Dean, you were right. It's not pneumonia. There's a big handprint, but it's not a handprint like ink or something. It's that the wood has rotted in the shape of a hand, which is, I think that's a mark of true evil, you know?
Yeah, that you ruin wood? Yeah. I'd say so.
Yeah.
Dean
Nothing's more evil than ruining someone's wood.
I mean, right? Come on. It's going to hurt, babe. Dean recognized...
What? I don't even know what you're trying to...
I was making a blue ball joke.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Dean recognizes it as something he saw as a kid, which triggers our first flashback of the series.
No, it's not.
When other time did we have one?
We've seen this kid already.
Have we?
Haven't we?
Have we? I don't have a note.
Haven't we?
Have we?
Oh, jeez. Okay, you keep
going.
A
young Dean is looking over a picture of the same handprint that is part of John's current hunt. So the one we just saw, we're flashing back to when we get little kid Dean. John has his bag packed and is about to leave for a hunting trip when he begins to run down the rules again with Dean, who's able to just like very clearly recite them and tells John he knows all of this, but John's just like fucking like, this is important. I don't care. Like, I've already lost a wife. I'm not going to lose one of my kids.
Right. I mean, apparently you're right. According to the Supernatural Wiki, which I'll take.
Thank you.
Yeah.
John also tells Dean to watch out for Sammy and leaves. As soon as John leaves the motel, Dean locks the door. Dean looks at Sam, who's watching TV. The cartoon Sam is watching during Dean's first childhood flashback is Thundercats from 1985. Thundercats
cool.
is an American animated TV series that was produced by Rankin and Bass, who did like all the Christmassy movies.
Yeah.
And Leisure Concepts debuting in 1985, based on the character created by Ted Tobin Wolfe. The series for which Leonard Starr was the head writer follows the adventures of a group of cat-like humanoid aliens.
Yeah.
It's kind of it.
Totally normal.
Yeah, totally normal. So we're back at the motel after the flashback ends.
So Dean fully goes, they already know
Yeah.
what it is. They know it's a Striga.
Yeah.
Dean says Dad hunted one forever.
Yeah.
This is a weird thing where they know what it is so early in the episode.
Yeah.
But it's about like, we don't know how to beat it.
Because we were here once before and it didn't get killed.
Even Sam says Dad went after it and it's still breathing.
Yeah.
And Dean is like,
sometimes shit
Dean's
like
kind
happens.
of brushing it off,
Yeah.
but like that there's more to it. But they do know what it is. They can at least start trying.
So
to
we're not
figure
going
it
like
out.
to libraries and shit, which is interesting.
Okay. This is a little moment of homophobic joke here.
2006.
Kid comes out in this motel.
Yeah.
Like he's manning the desk because his mom had walked away, and he comes in and asks Dean, king or two queens. Dean says two queens, and the kid like looks at him and looks at Sam out the window.
And then later on he repeats it again and says, two queens.
Yeah, it's
not great. Yeah, it's not great. It's 2006, and I mean it's a shitty kid, so
I mean
they didn't have to write it down.
No, it didn't need to be in there.
Absolutely. So they start unpacking the Impala. Dean explains to Sam that they are hunting the Striga. So he tells them that their dad faced one 17 years ago in Fort Douglas.
Dean sees this kid in the back, and he's looking after his younger brother, and then we get another flashback of Dean and Sam in this motel, and Dean is like making him dinner. It's like mac and cheese.
Well, he's making SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs and a glass of milk.
Because he says SpaghettiOs.
Oh yeah,
real little kid talk. It was very good. And then Sam basically moans about the food and wants to have the Lucky Charms. And Dean's like, well, there isn't any left. And he goes, I'm pretty sure there was. And he's like, okay, well, there is some, but I didn't even have any. Yeah. And then Sam makes a sort of sad face, and Dean's like, well, fucking, I guess you get fucking Lucky Charms then.
Yeah. You see, I mean,
I don't know why he dumped out the SpaghettiOs. He could have eaten them himself.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a miserable life for kids.
Yeah.
Because Dean at this point is also not a hunter.
But it's interesting.
John is, you should give him the benefit of the doubt. He's doing his quote unquote best. But this is a miserable life, motel to motel. He just leaves them there. Dean is like 9 and looking after his like 6-year-old, 5-year-old brother or whatever. Like, it's really insane, and bad. But you can see why maybe Dean has this investment in like making sure kids have a good life and stuff like that.
And like his sort of obsession with taking care of his brother, and like this is really painting that sort of like you understanding where sort of Dean's relationship came from.
They're Albanian and they go back to ancient Rome. That's what I said. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah, it's just wrong. That's all.
It's not wrong, because the Polish ones also trace their lineage back to Rome.
So they're in the hotel room, the motel room, and Sam is searching the Striga and confirms to Dean that Dean was right. Sam finds that they feed on spiritus vitae, or life's breath, and there is no known way to kill it. I think it says specifically like no weapons like devised by man or God.
Yeah, and it's this is a good scene. It's neat to see Sam do all this research. I think it might just be better if Dean just bombed in out of nowhere and says, "Actually, I did research. It's better than yours."
Oh my God! No, he found his own research.
And then Sam says, "Yeah, I kind of said that in my research."
And he goes, but you didn't say exactly that. So. He tells Sam that their dad told him that they are vulnerable when they feed, and they can be killed then with consecrated iron bullets. So he just did like he just had some more context for
It is funny that I made a joke about it and the Dean actually kind of does it.
Yeah.
It's wow, really life imitating art here.
Sam questions how they are going to locate the thing, though. Dean tells Sam that a Striga, when not feeding, can take on a human form. Dean figures out that all the victims in the houses are around the hospital, which is in the dead center.
Yeah, so I mean, this is a slight departure from the real thing because they're supposed to turn into like insects or whatever. But the idea of changing form, of looking like an old like woman, like the sort of traditional witch kind of thing, and then changing form is totally part of it. So
the map that Dean shows Sam actually shows a real Fitchburg, Wisconsin, where the episode is set. But the hospital,
or you.
You. But the hospital shown on the map is not there. The Fitchburg is a suburb of Madison, and all the local hospitals are in Madison itself. So he points in that place, but there wasn't a hospital there.
And Dean goes, "We're gonna go to the hospital." Sam's like, "But like, how are we gonna find this thing?" And Dean's like, "I don't know. There's an old woman with an upside down cross on her wall."
Yeah, it's got to be enough, right? That's got to. So they go to the hospital and head towards the old woman's room. The old woman in the hospital, who Sam and Dean first suspect is the Striga, is staying in room 237. Room 237 is notorious in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining, the room where Danny is attacked by an old woman and Jack has a strange encounter of his own. There's a documentary about the film entitled Room 237.
There you go. I do like those little touches.
I like to
Easter
know
egg
sort of
kind
what they're
things.
playing off of and little fun things like that. So they silently pull out their guns and head closer to the old lady. She's lying completely still with her eyes open, which is very terrifying. Like they do a really good job of like the tension's high here.
Yeah, because you're waiting for that thing where it'd be like,
yes,
like, it's
a Striga out.
Again, the show does know what the tropes are. Sometimes they just lean full into them, and sometimes they play against them, and they know how to do that. The woman just goes, "Who the hell are you?" It turns, and you realize
so good. It gets me the first time.
Yeah, and you try to steal my stuff. They're always stealing. He goes, "No, ma'am, we're maintenance." You realize that she's probably mostly blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good moment.
But it's funny because she says like,
she said, "Fix that crucifix, would you?" I love this idea that Dean was like, "Well, it's obvious." It makes me think of that Mulaney bit where he's talking about like, if you saw Hitler walking down the street, would you kill him? He's like, "No, if I just saw a guy that kind of looked like Hitler, I am often wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not just gonna kill somebody."
It is funny that she says it's a crucifix because to be a crucifix, it has to be a depiction of a crucified Christ on it. Without Jesus, it's just a cross.
Just a cross.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe someone stole Christ.
Oh my God. They are always stealing things.
Yeah.
She said it.
Yeah.
That's very funny.
It'd be funny to steal only the Christ from a cross. Weird thing to do.
I just want this shirtless man.
Hey, an action figure. We cut to another house. We see the creepy Striga hand. The window.
Well, this is
open
Michael
up.
and Asher. These are the two boys.
Oh shoot! Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh no.
So of the motel.
But we're emotionally invested.
So the next morning, Sam and Dean head back to the motel, and with Sam still laughing at Dean for almost shooting an old lady.
I mean, it's good they can laugh about that.
But also, like, that was at night, and it's the day now. Like, he's been making fun of him from the last, 8 hours.
Also, how far away is this hospital?
Well, that's another good point, yeah. How long does it take it? So they find Michael sitting outside, looking unhappy. Dean approaches him and asks him, what's wrong? Michael says that it's about his young brother who's sick.
Yeah, I mean, we're lucky Michael doesn't just jump up and make another Queens joke here.
Yeah, he's like, "What's up, queers? What are you doing?"
I mean, for a lot of the show, pretty good. But every once in a while, you get one of those things that at the time, totally flew under the radar. And now you're like,
not okay.
This kid is kind of blaming himself. He said, "I should have made sure the window was latched. My brother got pneumonia. This is my fault."
Yeah.
It's really sad to see this kid beat himself up about it. And Dean is like, "I guarantee you this isn't your fault. I can't tell you why."
Yeah.
Because that will probably scare you more.
Yeah, but also me saying that probably implicates me in this whole thing. So
yeah. Oh, damn it. I'm emotionally involved.
Michael's mother appears and is in a hurry to get to the hospital. Noticing that she's in a flustered state, Dean offers to drive her to the hospital, which she accepts before leaving. Dean looks at Sam and says that they're going to go kill this thing.
Yeah.
He's emotionally invested.
Oh, God, is he ever.
And it never looked better on anyone.
Oh, God, please emotionally invest in me.
Deep inside of me.
Oh, emotionally invest all the way into me.
Emotionally invest all over me.
Have we gone too far?
Yeah.
I will say about 90% of the positive comments I get about this show is like women who are like, it's so nice to hear guys thirsting over Dean. Which is probably both true and very funny.
Yeah. And also still problematic.
Is it?
I mean, is it in 10 years from now?
You see the way he's dressed?
He's asking for it?
No.
Oh, no. That leather jacket.
Oh, God, yeah, that big boxy leather jacket. You can't even see what he looks like.
Oh, yeah, but you can imagine.
Ugh.
And do I ever?
We cut to a library where
Hospital library.
where Sam is using the oldest computer ever made.
Yes.
Oh, actually, it's not a computer. It's one of those microfiche
Yes.
things.
Yeah,
That's why.
Sam's projecting newspapers onto his face, and Dean's at the hospital.
Yeah, it kind of looks... It's shot like like how you shoot like a radar tech in like a submarine.
Exactly.
You see it blocked on his face.
At the library, Sam calls Dean at the hospital and tells him that he found reports dating back to 1890s of similar cases of children becoming ill and dying over the course of a few months, with a new town being hit every 15 to 20 years. He says Ogdenville, Brockway, and North Haverburg, which are all named towns from that Sam mentions, are locations.
Those are the Simpsons.
Those are the same Those are the same ones from the monorail episode of The Simpsons.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Ogdenville, North Haverbrook. Yeah, those are all the same one from the Simpsons Marge versus the Monorail in 1993.
Yeah, and this is where Sam discovers that the doctor is Heidecker.
Yeah, that's right. They also mention Black River Falls and its township, Brockway, Wisconsin, which are real places. Black River Falls had an outburst of deaths in the 1890s. There's a documentary about the disaster called Wisconsin Death Trip from 1999, based on the book from Michael Lessie in 1973. Both the book and the movie are constructed entirely from actual news reports.
Yeah. So Dean is when he's on the phone with Sam, he's in the room with the doctor, and Sam is like, "This picture was taken in 1893. It's the doctor," and Dean has to do like the slow hang up, turn around, like, "I didn't get a call." What?
Yeah. Doctor? Who's like clearly trying to like hold how pissed off he is now. Dean, who's at the hospital and looks at the doctor literally in the same room, right? So Heidecker moves to talk to Dean, who is barely able to contain his anger, but doesn't attempt to attack the doctor.
And the doctor does that thing where he technically tells a truth, where he says, "Nothing's more important to me than these kids."
Yes. Oh.
It's just, I'm going to kill you.
That's not what you mean. So now we're back at the motel and Dean is pissed.
Yeah.
Sam is surprised that Dean didn't shoot the doctor right there.
I mean, really? I mean, he was willing to go fucking Rambo on that old woman because she looked creepy and the cross was upside down.
But again, he says that he wouldn't have done that because it's in the pediatrics ward. So
yeah, and he also says, and unless he's chowing down, I can't kill him anyway.
Yeah. He tells Sam he knows how to kill it and proposes a plan to use Michael as bait to draw out Heidecker, which Sam does not like. And Dean tells Sam there isn't any other way.
Yeah, so because Dean says the Strega works through siblings.
Yeah.
It went after Asher. It's going to come from Michael. That's where we got to wait to get it. This is the only time that we know where it's going to be next, right? Is because it's moving from family to family.
It's interesting, though, because Dean, proposes being sort of like doesn't want anything to happen to these kids and is super defensive of children, but then is very willing to sort of use a kid as bait.
But it's that Dean is always kind of that almost the ends justify the means, or this is an acceptable risk, or it's also that I won't let anything happen to Michael. I know I can get it there in time, kind of.
Exactly. Yeah. He's more confident in himself than anything else.
Or just Yeah, exactly. Or he's scared that they'll never have this kind of edge again, right?
And even Dean says, he continues by saying that he screwed up once before. Sam's confused by the comment, so Dean begins to tell Sam what happened the first time, which triggers this next flashback.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he's like, why would Dad let something get away?
Exactly. Look at that. Oh, look at the pain in his face.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, clench his jaw a little bit. We're going back in time. Fort Douglas, Wisconsin.
Ugh.
So it had been 3 days since John left, and Sam and Dean are still at the motel.
So sad.
Dean at the time was getting bored of being cooped up for so long, so he decides he's going to go out for a little bit. Before leaving, he checks on sleeping Sam before exiting the room and heading to the arcade.
Yeah.
Later,
because he's a fucking kid.
Well, exactly, right? Like, you can't expect him to be perfect all of the time.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's going to go like get a little crazy. So you see him, he's at the arcade just as the owner is sort of closing up and kicks him out.
Yeah.
I love this version of like young Dean. I think he's such a good actor to play that part.
Very much.
Like, you believe that kid's going to end up being sort of like rough and tumble.
Because he plays the good heart, but he also
Yeah.
kind of plays like the Sammy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I feel like he does a really good job at that. So when he enters the motel, he noticed the light from Sam's room and slowly walks towards it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, just from when you first look at it, it kind of just looks like the lamp's on, right? Like, it's...
Well, the lamp is on, but yeah, there's
just a little bit of extra light, right?
Yeah. It's
Does he have a gun at this point, or is he
No,
still...
he does not, because I think he hasn't started hunting yet.
Yeah.
But
so
he
scary.
looks, and
Could you imagine?
Yeah, and the Striga is over Sam. We get the weird like Dementor mouth thing going.
Oh, he's going for a gun though. Yeah, he's going for a shotgun, which would
grabs-
sent that kid. He would have sent him like flying across the room.
Yeah.
Unless that's like shots for tots or something. It's like
my first
Yeah.
buckshot. Yeah. And he's about to shoot, and John says, "Get out of the way." Goes for it.
Look how good he looks.
Oh God, he looks good. They give him a little side part so you know it's the past.
Yeah. It's like a 70s sort of vibe going on.
Yeah.
Sammy.
Yeah, John, was like, Sammy, blah, blah, blah. And John very also quickly turns on Dean here.
Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, you can clearly see this is the moment where Dean sort of goes like, oh, I need to protect Sam forever. Like, this is clearly like a huge turning point, I think, like for him. Because I mean, he saved Sam when Sam was a baby, but that was really just sort of like he wasn't really saving him. He was just doing what his dad said. This is the moment where he fucked up and didn't save Sam when he needed to. So it's like, oh no, this is your job.
But it's also, I mean, listen, John is rattled. He cares about Sam, but this is also messed up that he like looks at a 9-year-old and says like, "You did this."
Yeah,
I mean, he doesn't say those words, but that's basically what he's saying.
His eyes were saying it.
Yeah,
they were. Saying,
very much.
They were also saying like, "Richard, I don't usually feel this way," but
they were also saying, "Martha."
Oh no! Why did you say that name?
Striga. Why did you?
So now we go back into the present, and Dean finishes up his tale by saying that after that day, John never looked at him the same way.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean,
it's so messed up. Like, I mean, they find something good in each other, but like, and again, fine. Like, John's doing his best?
I guess.
But like, the hunting life is so horrible to them.
Yeah.
The fact that they are even halfway as good as they are is like basically a miracle.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And the reason their dad sent them there was so that Dean could basically finish this job.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I mean, that's...
Which now Dean is sort of seeing as like almost like a kind of personal fuck you.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is like, you messed it up. I didn't get it last time.
Clean up your mess.
Clean up this goddamn mess.
It's just crazy. Yeah. It's like, it's come back. Like, time for you to deal with it. Yeah, I mean, they're bad parenting.
So this is why Dean says, I don't like it, but it's got to be the kid. I have to end this thing.
Yeah.
Because it means that since that time, this same Striga has been out there.
Well, exactly, right? Yeah.
Think of how many kids have died because of him, basically.
Exactly, yeah. So they go and talk to Michael about their plan.
Yeah.
He says, basically, he just literally like lines the whole thing up, and he's like, I know you've seen it because it attacked your brother.
Yeah.
So, because the kid's about to like call the cops, and he's like, puts the phone down, and he's like, I'm not gonna do that. Like,
yeah. He says like, does it have like a long black robe? And Dean's like, yeah, you saw it, didn't you? Yeah, God. Ugh.
Could you I also did you ever have a room with your sibling? Probably not. No. We had bunk beds.
Right.
But the idea of that, something like that, God, that would be awful.
Yeah.
Because you also don't want it to get used, but it's do you have to just let it get your brother?
Well, yeah, right. Yeah, if you see it happen, what are you going to do to stop it?
Yeah, but also it's you could see Dean's literally watching it happen again, and he's trying to give. He's so badly reflecting his own emotions on this kid, being you have a chance to save your brother. Don't do what I did.
Yeah, totally. But he's doing that, and he's also trying to be don't feel bad. It's okay.
Yeah.
I know you didn't save your brother, but
but
now you can. And
yeah. And then you want that means
then,
more.
Then your dad will come back. And everything.
And your mom will be not on fire. I mean, wait, hold on.
So they sort of pitch it to Michael, and Michael says no. And then we see Michael knock on their door and says, if you kill this thing, will Asher get better? And they say, we don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Will make you do it?
Yeah.
So Michael does admit that he saw the Striga, and now he's decided that he's going to help them.
Yeah, and this kid's doing some good acting. Some solid kid acting from this kid with Bieber hair.
Solid. I mean, not even. I mean, it's a little long to be Bieber hair at this point.
But it's the swoop. It's the one big.
It's pre-Bieber though, I think.
Is it? It's 2006 pre-Bieb?
Yeah, because I think he only came in. He came around 2012 or 2011. I think maybe 2010 even. I don't think it's 2006. That seems too early.
Maybe from Justin Bieber. That was his first song, right? I mean, I don't know.
Wow.
2010. Yeah, you're right.
Look at that.
This is pre-Biebs. That
I know
was
my
just
Biebs.
the style.
Look at that. That's just what it was.
This camera has night vision on it. We'll be able to see you. Dean, why did you have that?
Don't worry about it. Just don't look at the SD card.
Listen, you shut up. I'm taping over something for this. So,
Michael voices his worries about getting shot, and Dean assures him that he won't miss.
Yeah, and Dean also says, as soon as we bust into the room to get the Striga, roll off the bed. It's not a good plan.
No.
He's roll off the bed. We probably won't shoot you.
Yeah. If you roll off the bed at the exact right time, I'm sure you'll be fine.
But he says, have you ever heard a gunshot before? It's gonna be a lot louder than the movies. He's trying to prep him, but this is a really insane ask of this kid. It's actually, I think, crazier than if they were just we should camp out and just protect Michael.
Yeah. Rather than getting him involved.
The fact that he's in on it seems so much worse somehow.
No, because now the kid knows
they
it's
could have just broken into the room, set up the cameras.
Yeah.
Set something up so they could get in. This somehow feels worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just put cameras up in the kids' room. That's fine.
Oh yeah, maybe it meant not that. Yeah, you're right. You're right. That was messed up.
Yeah, and then that kid sucker will come in.
I don't like that.
It's not good. This episode walks a very thin tightrope. So it's 3 a.m. now, and Sam and Dean are waiting in another room for the witch to show up. Sam attempts to apologize to Dean for always giving him hell for following Dad's orders, which causes Dean to groan in annoyance.
Yeah. No chick flick moments.
Yeah, exactly. But it's when I first saw this, I was like, why is he on the phone? I realized he was listening to the headphone. But it just looks like he's on the phone at the same time.
He's I'm trying to get through the messed up my phone bill. I
have double duty here. I mean, we're always on the clock, so.
Listen, it's a stakeout. I'm allowed to multitask.
Yeah.
So they see it on the camera. They see the creepy hand in the window that we've seen before. Again, a great effect because it looks like
a branch.
It looks like it's coming out of the tree branches kind of thing. Really, really love those shots.
But also, the Striga really loves its job, I mean, it really puts in the effort to be...
Oh, because it's moving so goddamn slow.
Yeah, you got to respect it for loving what it does.
Yeah.
It puts so much finesse into it. It extends its arms out.
Looking like fucking Rise of Skywalker Palpatine here.
Yes. I'm going to kill you.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat your soul. Saunters over.
Strike me down.
Yeah.
Your friends in the other room will not survive.
I'm going to take your soul. I clearly have the higher ground.
Your soul is fully operational.
Exterminate.
Oh God, so creepy. I mean, really good kind of character and costume design here. This fucking like Deadlight's mouth thing too is really creepy. So Sam and Dean bust in.
Dean,
they light up this Striga with the consecrated iron rounds.
Like he tells the kid, just sit tight.
Yeah. Careful.
It's on me.
Careful. The Striga's on the ground, but
they didn't kill it. They didn't shoot it in the head.
No, they sure didn't. I don't know why Dean's just waiting to see. Like, if it's lying on the ground, just keep shooting it.
Just to make sure.
I mean? Like, it either did it or it didn't, right? So just keep shooting it.
Yeah, it ends up tossing Dean across the room, grabs Sam, and chokes him as it begins to feed on Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's probably like, oh. Ugh.
It's a vintage.
Is this aged cheddar?
Yeah.
Am I just making the argument that the Striga likes the American cheese of souls?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we get like a sort of Dementory thing
very
happening
much
there.
Very
and
much.
You see Sam like aging and that, and Dean says, hey, and then pops it right between the eyes. And this is the only time they actually caught it literally while feeding. Because other times they bust in the room when it's about to, and they go for it.
Yeah.
But he actually shoots it while it's feeding. And Sam is fine. Striga is dead. You see all of the sort of soul kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Leave. Now Dean double taps. Should have done that before.
Exactly, right? And always go for the head. You see all the
sort
souls leaving its body
and
now.
it kind of Obi-Wans into nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah, it becomes a Force Ghost, I like to think. It'll come back later.
Yeah. Yeah, you know how Palpatine's at that Ewok party?
Yeah.
Hey, any room here for Sheev?
Yeah, exactly. You see Dean's finally feeling like satisfied that he got rid of this thing that's been sitting on his shoulders for so long.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he thought about it every day, but like this is a big weight off of Dean.
Exactly. So when the next morning, Sam and Dean are packing up the Impala when Michael's mother appears and saying that Asher has made an excellent recovery along with the other children.
Yeah.
I do like that he's just like, what did you guys get up to last night?
Nothing. Hey, by the way, there's a bunch of bullet holes in my kid's room.
And cameras?
Dean's like, oh, shit.
Oh, no. We got to hit the road. Oh, God. Hopefully that doesn't show up on the rap sheet. Not good at all.
Yeah. Dean...
No, he's like, it's okay. There was some kid suckers last night.
Oh, yeah. And then, Sam asks, like, what about Dr. Heidecker? And she says, oh, he's out sick or something. He didn't show up today. But, Asher's fine, so...
Be like, oh, no, he's here. He's my new boyfriend.
Oh, God.
Much worse.
Yeah, it's a nice ending there, and
Michael and his mother drive off.
They drive off
to the hospital.
Sam and Dean feel good about it. Dean feels good about it.
Sam says it's too bad, and he's like, it'll be fine. Like everything. He's like, it's not what I meant. He's like, I meant Michael. He's always going to know that there are things out there in the dark.
Yeah.
Like,
which is true. If you're that kid, like, fine, this ended well. But every sound you hear from now on, you're going to think it's a fucking monster.
Well, also, it's just like, well, if that's real, then you have to start thinking, what else is real?
Yeah. I mean, Sam says, like, I kind of wish I could have the innocence where I didn't know that stuff was out there. And, I mean... I think Dean's comeback here is that, like, but it's their job to make sure other people get to do that.
Yeah, exactly. At the end, when Dean and Sam pull away in the Chevrolet, you can see the whole camera crane, which is filming, reflected on the side of the vehicle.
Oh,
watch, you'll see it. It's look, you see it?
Oh yeah, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I mean, fair enough.
I mean, it's small, but it is still there.
Very fun. Yeah, and they drive off. There we go. Something wicked this way came.
And it was me.
Oh.
Because I'm wicked.
That was like, you said that like it was a flavor of potato chip. Yeah, wicked.
Chopping down on my delicious chips. Wicked. Doritos. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what this episode was about, right?
That's what I figured.
Yeah, I blacked out. What happened?
All right. That was, holy shit, something wicked.
Yeah, so what did you think of this one?
I thought this was something wicked.
Yeah, all right. Okay, I'll go.
No, it was a this is always sort of a middling episode for me. Like it's never like it doesn't, especially after sort of the high note that it leaves you on the previous one. This definitely feels like a filler episode.
Yeah.
You get sort of a bit of the softer side from Sam and Dean. I don't think there's any like major issues with it. They get to like sort of interact with the kid. For the big thing in this episode is your first flashback. I think that's like really starting to get some context.
Becomes such like a thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like fully built into the structure of the show, like Arrow or something like that.
No.
But like flashbacks become like a big piece of it. I mean, that's a very comic booky thing because it's like a way where you could say like, oh, this has always been true, even though we haven't seen it. You go,
it gives you context.
It's all the retconny kind of stuff they could do where it's like, well, actually, when we were kids, we did.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like, but it's interesting, right? It gives you some sort of like that, gives you, like you've heard that they did all this stuff when they were kids, but you don't really understand the implications of that. And I think because we've watched the show for so long, you just, I mean, even we thought we'd already seen the flashback,
I was
right?
so convinced we had already seen it.
It's such like a thing that's in the show because you hear a little bit about it, but you don't actually think about what that life was like. And they really sort of paint it up. You go like, no, like it wasn't a good life. Like they really had to struggle, and it really helps sort of you understand these characters a bit more and have some more empathy, I think, for both of their situations. Because Sam was sort of always crafted into being this sort of like, he's the baby, you have to just take care of him. And Dean's always sort of crafted out to be this, like, he's just got to like be stubborn.
You certainly understand a little bit more of their dynamic and their like relationship to their dad, like each of their relationships to their dad. You understand their relationship to each other a bit better. Like, this episode does a lot of good work that way.
Yeah, it paints them with a broader brush than I think we've seen before.
Yeah.
I think before all the context was done just through like dialogue, but you don't actually get the context of seeing what happened. And I think having like an unfinished story to complete, and I think it just deepens both those characters a bit more in an episode that overall doesn't really have that much depth to it, I don't think.
No, I mean, I will say it's weird that this episode, more than most other episodes, is pretty faithful to what a Striga is in real world, but also departs so fully from what the real world ways to beat a Striga are. I mean, I know it's partly that it's like it's more cinematic to make it guns. Yeah. But the idea that like it's not even like
also that the guys just are all about.
But it's also like they could have done something where you got to consecrate the salt or something. Like a salt is part of it, and holy water is part of it in the real world. But they were like, it's iron, which is nowhere in the thing. It could have been like literally anything else. You could still make it guns. It's weird to be so faithful and then be like, we're gonna completely change that, as opposed to just like, what's a new version of a Striga?
Yeah, exactly.
Fully.
That's weird.
Never bothered me when I first watched it because I didn't know. But now with the context, I'm like, why would you do that? It's just make it like, oh, our normal salt ones don't work. Yeah. You know, what Dad never figured out was that we have to like, and then you could also show them being better hunters, not just on the back of John Winchester. Like, it actually feels like it's a missed trick.
It's true. Yeah, absolutely.
With context. If you just watch this cold, not hearing us talk about it at all or anything like that, you won't feel that way.
No.
But knowing all this stuff, now I actually feel like
there's a missed opportunity.
It kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
It's, again, there's lots of good stuff in there. It's a great design monster.
Yeah.
Really, really terrifying design. Some great staging and setup for all of those bedroom scenes are really good. The guy that plays the doctor does a great job of sort of playing this sort of like ambivalently creepy, but you never actually see him turn into the Striga. He never actually gets to play full villain. Yeah. So he kind of has a tough job in this episode, and he does well with it.
And it's the first time we've really gotten sort of a monster as like a regular guy in the show.
Yeah, I mean, I guess other than like the shapeshifter,
But still,
something
like
like
he
that,
never
yeah.
played like a good guy. Like he's never like a like this is like a
Right, I
This is
see
a
what you're
monster having a career.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it actually has a life.
Yeah, which is I think
Yeah, that's right.
it's very different. Like
That's a
as
good
much as
point.
he's doing that as like a way to get to the thing that he wants.
Right.
He still like probably has to do paperwork and like actually be a doctor.
Yeah, in order to keep up the ruse,
Yeah.
he must do actual doctoring.
Do you think he got a medical degree?
No, I mean, you're a witch. What they're talking about, like, this witch feeds to live, but it must also have magic, right?
Maybe.
Maybe?
It's not a thing that they talk about. I mean, he still climbs up a side of a
Yeah.
house and crawls
Maybe it's
through
only
a window.
a witch in that it's an evil woman.
Yeah, like I think
Yeah.
the magic comes from the eating of the souls.
Right, yeah,
So
yeah.
like otherwise, like does it have like
Right.
it has a job? But does it get a paycheck?
I made Snoke.
Yeah. Like does it have a paycheck and a mortgage? Like
Right. Yeah, it's got a SIN number.
well, I mean, like right, like
right. Yeah. That's a good point. These are all fair points.
like it's a doctor technically. Like it must have some doctor knowledge. It can't just be there like forceps and he's like
yeah.
souls. I've got souls. Do you want souls?
20 cc's orange juice.
Yeah, like he's got to have some contextual knowledge, and he's he's been around forever, so he's got to have gotten the knowledge.
Interesting. Good points. Good points all. You also got to dock in a little bit of points for the completely unnecessary gay joke.
Yeah.
So generally, I think this episode is mostly fine. I don't think it's bad, but with the benefit of knowledge, I feel
Yeah.
like it missed a trick. And I also feel like it's just not great. You know, we've seen some great episodes that
Yeah.
are really like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This one is fine. It's a good, just like episode in a season. It's actually, maybe it hurts a little bit from being so late in the season.
Yeah, for sure. Because it's the fact that we're getting the flashbacks for the first time towards the end of the season is kind of interesting.
But also, it feels like we should be ramping more. And this is an
Yeah.
episode that fully does not ramp. It has nothing to do with almost anything.
no, I'm gonna
Maybe a little bit just because it's about Sam when he was a kid, but it's not connected to Meg. It's not connected to
No.
Demon. It's not really.
No, it's
anything.
not doing anything.
So what would you give this?
I think I'm going to give it a lot of credit because of the flashback.
Sure.
Because I think that's like a really big tentpole moment that worked really well, and they went back to it because it worked so well. I think.
Sure.
I think that the monster was fairly scary. It was okay shot. It was like it was middling. So I'm gonna rate it that way. I'm gonna give it 3 children's bedroom cameras.
Oh no. Oh God. I really wish you wouldn't.
They were there already.
I'm gonna give this one 3.5 deadlights mouths.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
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 Slightly higher. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I do still think it's a good episode. It's just not. I don't want to give it like up in that 4 range. The 4 range I feel are like it's not quite there, but I do like it. I think it's good. So,
Yeah. All right. Well, that was the episode for this week. If you have a note for maybe a future episode,
You give it to Richard. He can give it to me, like just out of nowhere, throw me off my game in the middle of an episode. That'd be fun.
yeah, if you have like an assumption of what we think our notes are going to be, and you can one up us, I'd love it. I'd love it.
Yeah, that's what this is about. Prove us wrong.
Yeah. Prove
That's
us.
what's fun. A good dynamic between two hosts.
Yeah, have it come from the fan base instead. How about that? What's great is that I knew you would think that, and so I literally put it in as a note going like, and when he says that, say this.
Maybe I didn't make it clear that you should back the fuck off on the monster lore.
Yeah, just, sometimes when you feel like there's a gap, you gotta fill it.
Oh, God. Talking to Dean again.
That's what I mean. So if you want to talk to Dean with us, you can do so through our email.
Ghostfacerspodcast@gmail.com.
And of course, we are always talking about Dean on our social media platforms.
At Ghostfacerspod on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
And if you like Supernatural, you might like what we talk about on our whole other podcast, Dr. DC.
That's right. It's about comic books. It's about DC Comics. There's a lot of sort of connections in terms of storytelling. There's lots of magic that we talk about over there. And certainly when it comes to things like demons or certain kind of monsters, a lot of the same rules apply and the same sort of storytelling applies. So if you enjoy this or if you enjoy us, go check that show out. Dr. DC Podcast, wherever you get your shows.
That's right. Say goodbye, bitch.
Jerk.
This was a Brain Freeze podcast.